nuclear crisis is complicated, but one that could be resolved. Trump also invited Moon to visit the White House to hold meetings over the issue. Moon won South Korea's presidential election, promising to have a moderate approach on North Korea. He said that he is open to visit Pyongyang under the right conditions to discuss the North's nuclear program.
Chinese President Xi Jinping sent a congratulatory message to South Korean President Moon Jae-in during a phone conversation Thursday. She said China values its relations with South Korea and hoped the two sides could handle their differences in a proper way. Bilateral ties have been strained by Seoul's decision to deploy the U.S. THAAD missile defense system. Moon said the new administration will actively communicate with Beijing to find solutions. The Korean Peninsula crisis is also a big concern for both countries. She reiterated China's goal to peacefully resolve the Democratic People's Republic of Korea's nuclear crisis through dialogue and negotiation. His remarks were echoed by the new leader of South Korea, who vowed to work with China to relaunch the six-party talks as early as possible.
Moon Jae-in wasted no time making clear his intention to smooth tensions between North and South Korea.
I will resolve the issue of the national security crisis as quickly as possible. I will do my best in all directions for peace on the Korean Peninsula. If needed, I will fly to Washington right away. I will visit Beijing and Tokyo. And if it becomes possible, I will also go to Pyongyang. I will do everything I can to firmly establish peace on the Korean Peninsula.
I was just outside the gates as he embarked on his new career as leader of South Korea.
This is the motorcade of the newly inaugurated President Moon Jae-in. He was just sworn in here in the National Assembly, and then there's crowds of people waiting for him outside as he came through with his motorcade and actually stuck his arm out the window to wave to the people.
When I saw his waving hand, I thought to myself, I'm here at the right time. I expect a lot of things from him.
Korea is very chaotic right now, and there are a lot of things to settle. I expect a new administration might do something good to develop our country.
Moon has already named former spy Soo Hoon head of the country's intelligence agency.
Soo played a key role in arranging and negotiating the June 15th and October 4th inter-Korea summits. He is the best person to handle North Korea affairs.
In the region, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Japanese President Shinzo Abe both say they look forward to working with Moon on North Korea. But what does Moon have in mind? North of Seoul, the Korean Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, intersects the 38th parallel, a dividing line between North and South made before the Korean War. In an armistice agreement that put an end to the fighting in 1953, the North and South agreed to move back their troops about 2,000 meters from the demarcation line, creating what is now the DMZ. Relations have been icy and sometimes dangerous and deadly. But the border area experienced increased interaction during the past liberal administration in South Korea, of which now President Moon was a part of. At the Kaesong Industrial Zone in North Korea in the early 2000s, South Korean companies did business in the country with North Korea's cheap labor. And in 2007, freight trains began crossing the border north of Dorasan Station for the first time in more than 50 years. But North Korea closed its border a year later, accusing South Korea of having confrontational policies after the Conservative Party won the election and promised to be tough again on Pyongyang.
Now President Moon Jae-in used to be chief of staff for Roh Moo-hyun. He was president when these tracks first opened up in 2007. Well, it didn't last long, but Moon has indicated that he would like to not only open back up these tracks, but also expand the Kaesong Industrial Complex.
Now that Moon's in office and promising to be a president that serves all the people, it remains to be seen if he can get the government, a divided nation, and the U.S. on board with his plans. In Seoul, South Korea, Simone Del Rosario, RT.